This is Hot Mike.
Hot Mike.
On the networks of WDAY. Here's Dom Izzo.
Welcome back, everybody. Second hour on this Monday morning. Big week on tap for us here, as we mentioned. Much more on our plans for Big 12 Media Days coming up before we say goodbye here on this Monday, including what we got in store for us both on Tuesday and on Wednesday. If you may have missed this, as we're in the midst of the crazy AAU basketball season, we've got plenty of guys with offers, plenty of players out there looking for the next step. Our next guest is part of a elite, and I say elite with a capital E, AAU team out of Sioux Falls that late last month got selected to play in the USA Basketball Championships in South Carolina. The Sanford Sports 16U black girls basketball team is heading there. They are made up of players from South Dakota, Iowa, Minnesota. I believe Nebraska's on there. There is one North Dakotan, and she joins us from Thompson, North Dakota, recently crowned state champion in basketball. Addy Sage joins us here on this Monday. Belated congratulations on the state championship. This has got to be pretty cool. Tell us on this team and finding out you're going to be playing in this event at the end of the month.
I mean, it's awesome. We've been working all season, and it's a great team of great players and great girls we're all close, and we're just super excited to go. I mean, only 24 teams were invited, and it's going to be such a fun experience for us.
All right, well, I'll get back to that in a second. Let's take me back to March in Minot and winning. After close you came last year, describe that moment and getting over the hump and winning the whole thing.
I mean, it stinks that we didn't make it past the semifinals, but I mean, next year it's always something to work for, and I'm super excited to see where this season takes us.
To have that kind of team, just that you've got a couple years left, the chance to do this again, describe the anticipation of going out there, the kind of tournament you had, and okay, we're bringing almost everybody back to maybe do this again.
Yeah, we have a team of very young talent, and I mean, we lost two seniors last year, Sydney and Brenna, who played a huge role in our team. They were amazing players, and I'm super sad to see them go, but I'm super excited because we've got underclassmen coming in, and we're super excited.
To be as much of an impact player as a sophomore, and you went through it as a freshman, did you feel more of a leadership role this past season? How did you feel your role changed on this team this past year?
Yeah, so I've been playing varsity since my 8th grade year. So I mean, I've always looked up to the upperclassmen, and they were so good to me, and they taught me how to be a leader, and they taught me good leadership skills, and I feel like that really played a part in our last season, and just being able to step up and say hey, let's go, and being that person.
How do you feel now you're going to be looked at as one of the upperclassmen? As a junior, how do you feel like the role's going to change for you this upcoming year?
I mean, it's kind of crazy. I mean, it went by so fast, and I feel like just last year I was still in my 8th grade jersey that didn't really fit me, but it's going to be something different, and I'm really excited to be able to show that I'm a leader, and I know what I'm doing out there, and I'm just really excited.
Well, give us the lowdown on how you got attached with this AU team. They're all over the place. Why did this one stick out and the opportunity to play with some elite players?
So I work out with Freddie Coleman up at Sanford and Fargo, and 2 years ago, he actually told me to try out for the team, and I tried out and I made it, and ever since then, it's just been a fun ride. I mean, all the girls and all the staff there's awesome. I mean, Sanford is just a well-rounded overall program.
How intimidating was it, the tryout?
There were a lot of people there, so I mean, I was okay, I gotta really show them what I got, and it was awesome.
So this was going into your freshman year at Thompson?
Yes, going into
Okay, so I mean, that alone's a lot of pressure. How did you handle that?
Just knowing that I have lots of hard work to back it up, and knowing okay, I worked for this, and now I really want to be on this team, so I need to show them.
So give us the lowdown. Was it a couple days? How long did the tryout go? And did they make you sweat it out before you knew you made it?
I believe the tryout was only 1 day long.
Okay.
I think it was maybe 3 hours, but there's a lot of scrimmaging and lots of skill work. So I just had to show myself and what I can do.
How long did you have to wait to find out that you made it?
I think it was around a week. or so, maybe 2, and like my parents got an email, and that's when I found out.
Was that nerve-wracking? I mean, did it feel like forever to wait to find out?
Yeah, like the anticipation, like, oh my gosh, did I make it? Did I not? But I mean, it was very relieving once I knew that I
Okay, so it
made
was
it.
my next question. The emotions you found out you made it. Was it excitement, relief, a little bit of both?
I was really excited to be on this team because I knew like of some of the great players that were going to be on it. I was a little nervous because I didn't know anybody on the team. Like I've heard of them, but I didn't know them
Yeah.
quite yet. But once I got there, they were so welcoming and they're all super nice. I'm
Well,
still super close to them.
so we're on in Sioux Falls. That's where everything's based out of, and there are studs all over this team. Tell me about that, about playing with this level of players, and we'll get to them in a second. But how much that helped your game playing with this level of players?
Yeah, so I just think that AAU overall just makes you a better high school player because it's some of like the top players from different high schools that like are playing on one team, and like we have players from other states like Nebraska, Iowa, Minnesota, South Dakota. So all those like top players, like in practices, they're pushing me. Even in games, like they're pushing me as well. So they're just pushing me overall, and I think that really contributes to my high school season.
Was there a like an eye-opening moment when you started practicing with them? Like, holy cow, this is a different level.
Yeah, I think the speed of like the game has like really gotten faster, and I really like that because it's like keeping me like in check. Like, okay, wow, like, but yeah, it was awesome. Like these players are so good, and I know that they're like making me a better player too. So it's awesome.
So, just for people that don't know, and South Dakota's best player that is coming for the class of 26, Ashlyn Kupel's one of your teammates. I look, Melina Snoozy's also on your team. I know the Bison have offered her. She's 2027, so she's a year younger than you. For just playing with Ashlyn and knowing there's like 20 schools out there that want her, what has that been like just as a teammate to see that for you?
It's been awesome. I mean, she's such a hard worker. I'm so proud of all the attention she's received because she deserves it. And I just like playing with Ashlyn makes everybody better. She's willing to share the ball. She can score the ball. Like she can do it all. And it's just awesome. And Melina, she plays on the 15U team. She's also a great player. And we get to scrimmage against them in practices. So it makes everybody around them awesome.
I mentioned intimidating, so there's. I mean, you may look over here and see the head coach of Iowa or see the head coach of Ohio State. What's that been like for you?
I've been like, oh goodness, like, wow, there's a lot of coaches here. And I'm like, I just have to perform to my best ability and hopefully it turns out good.
So we were visiting off air. You've had conversations have started. Tell me how that's gone for you on the next level in college.
It's been good. So I do want to play college basketball, and a couple coaches have reached out to me to go to like elite camps, and I've had a phone call, and like it's just I do want to play college basketball, so hopefully like it continues and I can play.
So the neat part about this as well for people that are wondering, NCAA is covering all this for travel for the tournament you're going to go to at the end of July. And I've asked this over the past couple summers, and we were visiting off air with different players that have committed to play basketball. AAU it's a lifestyle, right? Give us what your schedule has been like, basically since school ended. How busy have you been?
So yeah, it keeps you really busy. So for Sanford, we have practices either like every weekend or every other weekend when we don't have tournaments, and those are all in Sioux Falls. And we've gone to Texas, we've gone to Minneapolis, we've done 2 tournaments in Sioux Falls, and then this coming weekend we'll go to Ohio, and then the next weekend we're in Kentucky, and then the next weekend we're in South
Holy
Carolina.
cow! So
I know.
have you barely been home this summer?
Yeah, I mean, I come home and I'm like, wow, I haven't been here in a while.
Give us the lowdown on this tournament you're going to in South Carolina. You mentioned there's only 24 teams that get invited to the USA Basketball Championships. What kind of talent are we talking about that you're going to see here?
I mean, yeah, only 24 teams being invited is pretty crazy, and knowing that we're one of them is awesome. And the best of the best are going to be there. I mean, some great teams like All Iowa Attack and North Tartan, they're really good. So they'll be there, and some other great teams. I'm just excited to see the level of talent
Now,
there.
correct me if I'm wrong. Did you guys beat the North Tartan squad? Did I see that right?
Yeah, in the Summer Jam 2 weeks ago, we beat them in the championship, which was really fun because
So,
they're a good team.
I mean, I know there's some players from North Dakota, right, on that team.
Mhm. Yeah, there's two. Fallon is from the Davies and Morgan is from Pelican Rapids, and they're really good players.
So
Oh,
describe.
and Maggie Fricky.
Yeah, I was
She's
gonna say,
from Minot.
right.
She's
Maggie,
really
yeah, Maggie is on that team as well. What was that experience like going up against players you know?
I mean, it's awesome knowing that like I'm playing against high talent and then they're from my state, so like we know of each other. So it was just a fun experience winning it because they're always fun to beat because they're a really, really good team.
To be the only North Dakotan, Addy, on this team that's heading there, how big a deal is that for you?
I'm really excited because I'm representing like where I'm from and like I'm representing the team that I'm on. So I'm just really excited to go down there and see what we can do.
All right, I saved a couple of good questions here for the end. You got to give us a good story on Coach Brend. Can you give us one of practice or a saying that he goes to all the time? Do you have one for us?
Oh goodness. He says there's just sometimes in practice where here's one.
Okay.
This isn't really about practice, but
Yeah.
we had a dress up day at our school where it was like dressed as like kids dress like the students dress up as the teachers and
Okay.
the teachers dress up as the students. And a girl on my team, Kaya, she like dressed up as Mr. Brend and she put like I think she put like a wig on and she had a net around her neck and like it was a picture of him after we won the region championship. So it was really funny because they looked very similar.
He's on the show quite a bit, so I'll make sure I have to ask him about that the next time. The next time
Yeah.
he comes on. How much have you felt your high school team has helped you for this, and vice versa, that your AAU team has helped you for the high school season?
I mean, especially for my high school team, like that leadership role has carried over to my AAU season, like being able to step up. And I think AAU just makes me overall a well-rounded player on like the offensive end, on the defensive end, and just like my basketball IQ has gone way up just like seeing a bunch of talent and like knowing what to do. So I think they both go hand in hand on like making me a better player.
I'm interested, your first year of three-class basketball, what was that like for you? You're playing some different teams. What was that experience like?
I was really excited because like we'd be playing against some different teams and I was excited to see what the competition looked like and I was impressed. There was a lot of competition and I'm excited for this season too because it'll be the same thing.
Well, I really appreciate the time this morning. Congratulations on what's been a great summer. Have I guess by the way, you have like what, a day off after this because then volleyball starts when you guys get back?
Yep. Keeps you busy.
That's one way to put it. There's no doubt about it. Thanks so much for the time. Have a great next month. Good luck in South Carolina. We'll talk again soon, okay?
Thank you so much for having me.
Addy Sage from Thompson, North Dakota, class of 2026, heading into her junior year. Tommy's, of course, had a dynamite season. Devils Lake ended up winning that inaugural Class A championship. Thompson had a great run that was cut short by that Devils Lake team, and we'll look forward to seeing her play this upcoming season. And again, that roster, and there are some, I know certainly for our viewers in South Dakota, you know all about Ashlyn Kupel. I'm not telling you anything you don't know. She's currently ranked, by the way, the 20th ranked player in ESPN's class of 2026. Kupel's got offers from everybody. I mean, Iowa, you name it. I can run through it here for a second. But Melina Snoozy is another person I mentioned there from Bishop Heelan at Iowa that the Bison have offered her, I know. They have one player from Minnesota, Jaden Core from Pipestone, and the rest are made up of a couple from Iowa, mostly from South Dakota, and one from Nebraska. So it's an impressive team, and intrigued to see how this goes for the USA Basketball Championships coming up at the end of this month. I'm going to look real quick here before we go to break. Yeah, here's here's the unofficial offer list. I want to go through this quick with Ashlyn Kupel, who's Addy's teammate there. Arizona State, Cal, Michigan State, Texas A&M, Michigan, North Carolina, Wisconsin, Colorado, South Dakota. Way to go, making sure you got your name in there. Arkansas, TCU, Georgia Tech, Alabama, Utah, Minnesota, let's see, Kansas, Iowa State, Indiana, Nebraska. NDSU did. The Bison offered this October of 2022 is when the Bison offered her. So that would have been her 8th grade year when they offered her. So at least they can say they did. Colorado State, Creighton, and South Dakota State. Safe to say that the Dakota schools are probably not going to get her. That's impressive. Alabama, Minnesota, TCU, Wisconsin, Colorado, North Carolina, Michigan, Cal, Michigan State, Arizona State, Texas A&M. Telling you, level of player around here is just crazy, and that's another indication there. Thanks to Addy for her time, and we'll keep an eye on that when that comes around at the end of the month. We'll take a break. We come back. We delayed it. We normally do it every Monday. Best of the weekend time, so we missed over the last couple of days. Hot Mike rolls on a busy Monday. We're back after this.